This is the final chapter of my Korea series where I go from wandering through the historic streets of Bukchon, stopping by some cozy bakeries, stepping back in time through palaces, to ending the trip with a full-on self-care treatment. These were my last little moments in Seoul, and why not begin at a bakery with a 4-hour wait time? Okay, so it's my last full day in Seoul. And of course, I have to be making a line to a famous bakery because I have to try this salt bread everybody's been talking about. Hope it's worth it. Opened in December of 2023, Artist Bakery quickly became a favorite of Seoul's Angguk area, right where salt bread, or songyupang, has been everywhere lately. It's easy to find and has already earned its spot as a must-visit. The European-style interior with handwritten signs and rustic wooden floors might look familiar. It's by the same team behind the London Bagel Museum. With flavors like truffle, garlic butter, cinnamon, chocolate, squid ink cheese, pretzel salt bread, and even sandwiches, every bite hits that perfect balance of light saltiness, buttery flavor, and soft, creamy texture.
This bakery smells so good. Like, there's a very deep scent of truffle in the air. And it's so hard to choose. Like, everything looks really, really nice. And the options for spread that they have is amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. I think so far this has been the best bread I've tried in Seoul. In Korea. Oh my god. The hype, totally worth it. Geez, I think I'm gonna have to try to come back here before I leave to the airport. Too good. Now for our next stop, we randomly stumbled upon Dotori Garden, a 2-story house tucked away in the quiet back streets of Seoul's Gyeongno district. And it honestly felt like finding a little hidden gem. The cafe has this beautiful garden that wraps around the house, which is probably the best part, but since the weather was pretty cold, we decided to stay indoors and just grab some drinks. Inside, everything feels cozy and whimsical, with Ghibli-style details and each room having its own personality. The menu is packed with both sweet and savory options, from build-your-own yogurt bowls loaded with seasonal fruits, nuts, seeds, and honeycomb, to madeleines, breads, and a great selection of coffees and teas. While we just stopped by for a drink, visually the bakery totally steals the show. It's one of those places you stop by without a plan and end up really enjoying. I forgot to make a video of my drink, but I got the sesame latte and it was incredible. It was like the creamiest latte I've ever had in my life. I did make a short video with my phone. However, this place, definitely worth trying. We then began our walk in Bukchon, starting at the Bukchon Cultural Center, a historic hanok built in 1921 that now serves as an information hub for visitors. It's the perfect place to learn about Bukchon's history, traditional Korean residential culture, and its importance as a living neighborhood. Bukchon was once a high-class residential area during the Joseon dynasty, and much of its original character has been carefully preserved over time. From there, we explored the well-known Bukchon Street, where history is woven into everyday life. It was only after the 1930s that antique and art-related shopping malls began to be built, and expanding further in the 1980s, making its reputation as a traditional cultural street more solid. Now these traditional shops, tea houses, and modern buildings blend together, merging the past and present. While it's a beautiful area to walk through, it's important to remember that Bukchon is still a residential neighborhood. There are clearly marked zones with the colors red, orange, yellow, and blue, and signs that help protect the community, including areas with restricted access or increased monitoring. Respecting these signs helps preserve Bukchon's heritage so it can continue to be enjoyed by both locals and visitors. Time to see if I can get also one of these. finally did this. It's actually really comfortable. I like it.
Now it was time to visit Gyeongbokgung Palace, and we arrived just in time for the changing of the guards ceremony, which was something I completely missed on my first trip to Korea. And honestly, it was such a highlight. This happens daily except Tuesdays, with main ceremonies at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at Gwanghwamun Gate, and it lasts about 20 minutes. Opening times can change depending on the season and holidays, so it's a good idea to check ahead. And it's best to arrive before 9:30 a.m. and have at least 3 hours to check everything out. Gyeongbokgung Palace was built in 1395 as the main palace of the Joseon dynasty by its founder Kim Taejo. Its name means the new dynasty will prosper with great blessings, and it's also known as the Northern Palace because of its location. It's the largest and arguably the most beautiful palace in Seoul, where many Joseon kings were crowned. Although it was destroyed during the Imjin War, it was restored in 1867, later fell into decline, and finally underwent a full restoration in the 1990s. Of course, the history of this place is quite long, so this is just a brief summary. One of the best parts about visiting the palace is dressing up in a hanbok, because not only does it make the experience feel more immersive, you also get free entry. There are dress guidelines to respect the dignity of the palace, with nothing too revealing, and the palace website even has cute cartoon examples to help you choose what to wear. They also share a calendar with special events, which is worth checking before you go. If you don't wear a hanbok, the entrance fee is 3,000 won for foreigners, but wearing one definitely makes the visit more fun and photo-worthy. While you're here, don't miss the Gunjeongjong Hall, the Gyeongharu Pavilion, Gwanghwamun Pavilion, and both the National Palace Museum and the National Folk Museum of Korea. From the last one, I was keen on visiting their outdoor exhibition called the Street of Memories. This area recreates what everyday streets and alleyways in Seoul looked like during the 1970s and 1980s, showing how people lived, shopped, studied, and connected with their neighbors before modern high-rise buildings and digital culture took over. Because of this, it's often described as a time capsule, where you can find a comic shop, hole-in-the-wall store, get a feel for the vibe of barbershops at the time, boutiques where choosing your own fabrics and designs was a common thing, a mill to grind grain and peppers, make rice cakes and press oil, a photo studio where people would have their pictures taken for special occasions, or a music tea room, a place to drink tea while listening to songs played by a DJ. There's even a public bathhouse with an authentic bagaji tang, and several other places that aid in preserving memories of a simpler era and helping visitors, especially younger generations, understand what life was like for families in Korea during those decades. You find yourself lingering, noticing small details, and feeling a gentle mix of curiosity and nostalgia. Truly one of my favorite parts of this visit to the palace.
Actually, I think wearing this was absolutely worth it, especially because you can get inside everywhere for free. And the Street of Memories is also very nice. I feel like everything is so cool, like that vintage feeling and how like everything, the architecture, the designs, everything just looked better years ago.
After all that walking, we ended up back at Doma Insaeng. And honestly, if I'm repeating a restaurant, it's because it's that good. We tried the barbecue set again, but also added 2 rice hot pot dishes. Everything was comforting, full of flavor, and exactly what we were craving after a full day out. As one of the last stops of my trip, I had to go try one of those viral Korean hair treatments, so I headed to the Juno hair branch in Myeongdong, where I met Jane. I was greeted right away with some tea and traditional Korean snack with honey and sesame, and she walked me through all of the 18 steps and pricing. Then jumped straight into a detailed analysis of my scalp health, and as you can see, I was not so happy with what I saw. For this process, I paid a total of 150,000 Korean won and expected to be there at least 2 hours.
They started with a deep neck massage with essential oils for relaxation. And apparently, I needed 2 people to detangle my hair.
Wait a moment. Yes, thank you. Yes.
I like this steaming machine. It's nice. And it smells really good too. Ah! That is so cute. Shampoo feels really nice. Oh my god. First again? It's so strong, wow!
Next came the scalp peeling shampoo, which felt quite minty while I was laying on a massage bed. I didn't catch every step on camera, there are 18 in total, but they did multiple treatments to remove buildup and exfoliate my scalp, a white stick treatment to clear out heavy metals, red light therapy, a lavender steam eye mask, the water punch where they rinse your hair with a rhythmic water flow, followed by conditioning and some more massages.
I feel so relaxed.
Now it was time for the final touches and styling and a re-diagnosis to compare the before and after results on my scalp.
Oh wow! Please. That is a big difference. Yeah. Oh wow! Alright, so I'm done. The hair feels really soft actually. So soft. I feel like I don't know how I'm gonna live without this now. How am I gonna live without this kind of treatment? I love it. So that was my last night in Korea. I'm so sad to leave Korea. I feel like there's just so much to do. There's so much to explore and so much to get to know. So many places and so many cities. I still regret so many things that I didn't get to do on this trip. That I also didn't achieve in the first trip I did. But hopefully there will be another trip to Korea sometime.
And that is a wrap for part 5 of my experiences throughout my second trip to Korea. Thank you all as usual for sticking around, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Now I'll go and do a quick jump over to China, so I'll see you guys in the next video.